Hi, welcome to another exciting edition of Cooking with Z. Today we're making steak. Yeah. Sirloin tip roast beef was on sale, like big time on sale, like less than half price. So, or no, a little over half price, but basically half price. So I got a roast to chop up into steaks. So that's what we're going to do today. All right, let's head on over and we'll get that going on. Why am I feeling tired? I had like such a good sleep. Such a goodly sleep. Anyway, I'm gonna switch you over to the other mic here. La la la. There we go. Okay. Yeah. Give me a sec. Like, it wasn't even that they beat us. It was just that they did it in a really jerky way. You know? Sorry, talking about the Fortnite round we just had, which went phenomenally bad. Like, they had to be extra jerky and extra, cucky about it. Downed me, and then rather than finishing me off, just threw me into the storm. Yeah, let the storm have him. That's nice. Rosie's been eating ice cream bars all day. I'm sure that's all she ate today. Anyway, okay. So first things first, we want to cut up our roast. There you go. Sirloin tip roast, very nice. I think we do it this way. I think. I guess we'll find out. Well, Michael Myers on this. Let's give it a little rinse here. I should have done this part earlier because we need to do a little marinade on it. It should be fine. While it's, I guess while it's marinating, we can peel the potatoes and stuff like that. So, and yeah. Let me see. Let's see which way stuff goes. Yeah. So I think here, bring you guys a little closer. Let's see. The glorious meat. So our marinade today will be this one, the Clubhouse Montreal Steak Spice, part of their La Grille line. Can you cut through it, please? There we go. We have a steak. They're going to be really long steaks. I'm okay with this. Let's make it a little thicker, I think. I figured we could cut it into 4, right? Good Lord. Yeah. So I guess we'll just do 2 for now, because that's probably all we'll be able to fit in the pan with them being so large. And then that is that. How can you tell my knives aren't particularly sharp? Yeah. There we go. Excellent. So we got 2 more there that we can do whatever with. Now, let's do our marinade. my fingers. Oh my god. You see that? I used the whole bottle and then I drain off the remnants into a container, put it in the fridge, and we'll use it the next day for the other 2 steaks. And there you go. So generally you want to let it soak for about a half an hour or so. I'm just going to cut these in half so I can store them in a container. I don't really have a container big. Well, I guess I do have a container big enough for them, but I think it's got like a leak in it somewhere. So yeah, I'm almost wondering if I was supposed to cut it the other way. But anyway, we got long steaks. Long steaks are long. Yes, long steaks. Alright, and anyway, this gives us some nice little ones that we can fry up for breakfast or whatever, right? So. So you want to save some money on steaks, get roasts. Simple as that. There you go. Nice leftovers. Give it a rinse because of course this goes in the recycle. not a garburator, so we don't want the meat to go down the sink. Right? Get underneath the drippings. There we go. Now, we need our pans and stuff. Just gonna use the pan for a little wipe here. A little bit of juices on there. We don't have a lot of potatoes. I think we can use the smaller one. Is it clean? No. Sometimes it's not clean, it's just rinsed, so it still needs to be properly cleaned. I usually rinse, at the very least I'll rinse out the pans after using them so that, you know, the drippings and whatnot don't start to stink. Don't want stinky drippings. I think we'll get the water boiling right away, because the potatoes take a little bit longer. I'm actually going to peel them. I don't always do that with mash. Sometimes I just cut them up and put them in there. But we're actually going to peel them this time. I don't like Halloween time to be stressful. I want to enjoy it, as I'm sure the rest of you do too. If I'm enjoying it, having a good time, that means, you know, more content for you guys to enjoy. More streams, more videos, all that good stuff. And continuing to provide this wonderful community of which you are a part and enjoy on a daily basis so much. Yeah, I'll get that going in a sec here. Need to give the stove a wipe here. Can you just get out of my way for a sec? This fucking stove, man, it just like... Again, like same damn burner every time. It's almost like I use that burner all the time or something. Like, jeez. Well, yeah, that's really coming off, isn't it? That's wonderful. I really wish they would just replace my fucking stove already. Like, it's been, I don't know how many, no, I do know how many months, since my birthday this year, since February 25th. That's when it died. February 25th of this year, when I was making my steak dinner, my traditional birthday steak dinner, Les. That's when it decided to die. And I've told them I don't know how many times, and still nothing. Just no sign of any kind of replacement coming, or fix, or what. Well, hey, at least this means that it'll be getting, the steak will be getting properly marinated, right? Having to deal with this shit again. I don't even know how this happens. It's not like stuff is spraying and spilling everywhere. Well, I guess a little bit when it's frying things, but like, what is going on here? At the very least, I was thinking maybe getting a bigger toaster oven, something a little more heavy duty. Like bigger, like that I could do a turkey in, you know? They're out there. Basically, a countertop stove. All this fucking shit just come off already. Killing my arm here. Even the building manager said these stoves are crap. I said, oh great. Can I have another one then? Maybe one that works? I mean, like, you just give me another crap stove then, I don't care. Just give me one that works. That's all I'm asking. You know, I mean, I'm paying my rent. This is part of my rent. Right? How about a discount for every month I have had a non-functioning stove? How's that? How about if you want me to pay my full rent, you give me a working stove? Because that's part of the deal, you know? Like, come on, guys. It can't be that difficult. Alright. I wish I just had one of those nice glass top ones, you know, you just wipe it clean and you're done. Finito. I just noticed some crusty bits in the tray there. Crusty bits. Alright, so that's good. Use this for the steak. This for the potatoes. Get that boiling. I didn't start it boiling obviously because we were cleaning the stove, but there we go. And on the side there. Alright, there we go. Good. Ready to rock. I mean, look how long it took me just to get the lights fixed. And I mean, I put in a work order for it, but the only time he actually came and did it was the day that I think the building, there was the inspections, came in, and I was like, hey, well, I got you here. Lights, maybe? I can have lights, yes? Is that yes? Can I have lights now in my kitchen, maybe, you think? This will be for the mushrooms. I think we might do up some onions as well. I think that would be tasty. Alright, just gotta move you guys back, so I gotta get into the stove. And I think I'll go for a quick smoke just while we're waiting, because we gotta wait for the water to boil and the marinade and all that good stuff. Wow, they seriously, wow. Alright. Okay then. Anyway, I'm just talking to myself. Ow. 4 potatoes. A couple of very small onions here. We have mushrooms, a mix of white and criminy. Alright, so we'll get all that going when I get back. By the way, almost all the fruit flies are dead. There's like 2 there. Alright. Bring you guys back to the action here. When we get to the stove portion, I will of course make sure you can see everything. I know y'all like the stovetop view. It was only recently I realized in part of Rosie's kit of kitchen stuff, we have a potato peeler. Yay! Allows us to get all the janky bits fairly easily. And then what I'll do is just cut them up a little bit so they boil faster. Welcome to Painfully Slow Sous Chef, the series. Slowest sous chef in the world, yeah, yeah. Won many awards for my slowness as a sous chef. No, I haven't won awards for anything. I suck. Alright. Probably have our cutting board out. We're going to need it. Water is boiling. Now you're all just waiting for me to slice my finger, aren't you? trying to be careful. The thing is, I actually love potato skins. They have nice flavor, nice texture. But I don't know, for mashed, it's better when they're peeled, I think. With the exception of if they're like yellow flesh, because then they're quite soft. The skin just kind of mashes into the potato part quite nicely. It is double bladed, you can actually go back and forth, but then I'd be really putting my fingers in danger. Or I guess the other side of that is it works if you're right or left-handed. I'm kind of ambidextrous. Depends what I'm doing. Certain things I do with my right, certain things I do with my left. Like I tend to eat with my left hand. I don't know why. I just always have. Which is quite annoying when sitting next to someone who eats with their right hand and we keep bumping elbows. This isn't going to be a huge batch of mashed potatoes, but it's enough to have a nice little side, you know. So basically, be potatoes, mushrooms, onions, and steak. There we go. And that's it. That's the last of our potatoes. This is how poor we are. We can't even afford potatoes. So keep those donos coming, guys. This was basically just kind of a spontaneous treat because the roasts were on sale. I was like, you know what? I think we can, you know, it's 20 bucks for a roast and we'll get a few meals out of it. Have some steaks. I mean, we could also chop up the remaining steaks and do like a stir fry or something, or I don't know, whatever, or just have them for breakfast. So as you saw earlier, we've got some little steaks, 4 little ones. There we go. So I'm just going to put these in the water. It shouldn't take too long being cut up like that, so that's that. strips. I like to break them up ahead of time just to, I don't know, it's just the way I do things. You do it your way, I'll do it my way. Crusty bit on the end there. Another crusty bit. Whoop. Pop. Get that bit here. Pop goes the onion. So for those of you who watch my cooking streams on YouTube, hello! I apologize, I wasn't showing the stove in several recent segments. I'm sure you're all mildly disappointed by that. I do apologize. Sometimes it's just easier not to be dragging the camera around all the time. I'd like to get it set up like I used to have it, where we have two cameras. So we have one for the stove, one for whatever else I'm doing. So we'll probably get back to that at some point. I just need to. My setup isn't quite the same as it used to be, so we'll see about finding a way to do that a little more efficiently at some point. Okay, potatoes are coming along. I think we can probably get everything else going here, so let's do that, shall we? Just gonna unwrap the mushrooms. I'll be doing some chicken fried rice shortly. You might see that in an upcoming Cooking with Z episode. Alright, so let's bring you guys over here. We Turn this up to high. Get that preheating. Wow, there's apparently literally 0 point to my having the chat box on screen right now because nobody said anything in like an hour, so I'm going to turn it off. Literally an hour. There we go. Now you get a little better view. So here's our long steaks. Hope they fit in the pan. Such an odd cut. But I basically grabbed they didn't have very many roasts to choose from. I gathered the sale had been going on all day and they'd already been picked through. So I just grabbed the one that was the most brick-like to cut steaks from. So, yeah. So I just need to get into the fridge here for a sec. Just get out of the way. Come on. Sorry. There we go. Put this on about medium. Put some olive oil based margarine in there. Ow! 3 globs of it should be good. It's getting there. I decided to try doing the steaks on this one. So notice we weren't getting much of a sear on the other burner. I mean, it cooks them fine, but I feel like they should be searing faster and more noticeably. So we're going to try it on this one, which I think this burner is a little better. Like I said, this stove's dying. Like, I don't know like how much more I have to whine and complain to get them to fix it. Anyway. Interesting. I just got an invite to Live Jasmine. Isn't that a porn site? Like live porn? Like kind of an OnlyFans kind of thing? Like, yeah, no, I think I'm good with Twitch. Thanks. Alright, so I'm going to throw our onions in there first. Oops. I like to get them going first. There we go. And it's just nice because it gives, you know, you get some of the oniony flavor in with the mushrooms and stuff, and it's really, really tasty. How's this coming along? This is feeling nice and hot. How am I going to get the steaks over there without dripping all over everything? That's going to be a challenge, isn't it? Maybe if we, can I slap? No. Well, guess there's going to be drippings. We'll wipe it up after. Looked like a crumb stuck to the side. I don't know what that is. I can't just flick it off because the pan is scalding hot right now. Alright, here we go. You guys ready? Hey, no drip. Awesome. There we go. Wow, didn't drip at all. I guess it just absorbed it. Soaked it all up. Oh, it smells good. It smells real good. We can throw the mushrooms in. And fresh ground pepper. Missed one. So we'll turn it down a little bit. Okay, let's try flipping this. Ow! Fucking potatoes. That looks a little better. I think the potatoes are just about done. Thanks for the raid. Saw that. Ms. Sophisticated. Thank you so much for the raid. Appreciate that. So I'm not particularly active in the chat at the moment because I'm in the kitchen. I can't see the chat from here. I used to monitor it on my phone, but my phone is basically dead. It doesn't hold a charge for more than like 3 seconds. But anyway, thank you. Appreciate that. Just making some steak here. On my very dying stove. So we're doing the best we can. So we got potatoes, mushrooms and onions, steak. It's marinated with, where is it here? With Montreal steak spice from Clubhouse. Very tasty. Part of their La Grille line. So I think these potatoes are just about done. I'm just going to quickly wash my cutting board over here. It'll just be a sec. Basically an extended food break. We were playing some Fortnite earlier. Probably not going to get back to it tonight because I get a little noisy when I play and the neighbors don't like that. So after this we're probably just going to kind of chill and chat, and I think I'm going to work on some editing. Working on some vids for my YouTubes. I can't remember, did we get any wins at all today, or did we just get destroyed left and right? I think we just got destroyed a lot. So, yeah. See how we're doing here. Do a little poke test. That feels pretty good. So let's do one more flip. Turn the heat down. I'm just going to put the lid on. Just to finish it up. Basically do a sear on either side to kind of seal in the juices, and then finish it off on like medium heat. Spin you guys around for a sec. I need one of these. Take the potatoes off the heat. Sometimes I use a colander if I've got a lot of potatoes, but this one is, this particular pan is quite nice for just draining it off. And it's not like potatoes are going to go through the little crack or anything, right? Alright, so now let's smash them up. Oh yeah, these are good. These are done. I know a lot of people do seasoning with their potatoes. I generally don't. I just put butter on them after, or in this case, olive oil-based margarine. A little better for the arteries. And I don't mind if they're a little chunky. Just you know, kind of get the gist. You get stuck in all the little holes there, so just give them a little pokes. So nice to get a raid. I haven't had a raid in ages. Appreciate that. It was feeling a little quiet out there. I'm just kind of talking to myself. That's okay. I post these cooking streams on my YouTube channel as well, and I seem to get pretty good response over there. Potatoes. Just put the lid on that to keep them warm. I forget what brand this is. KitchenAid maybe? I can't remember. A very nice little potato masher. Just rinses right out. Alright, spin you back around. I'm going to see how our mushrooms are doing. Ow! Oh, that's hot. That was a little too close to the pan. I'm going to just use this here. There we go. So we just got some mushrooms and onions with some fresh ground pepper. Very tasty. A must-have when you have steak, I find. These are pretty much done, so we can just put this, put it on like 2. Put the lid back on. Let's see how our steaks are doing. That one's done. That one's definitely done. So, take that off the heat. Might be a little overdone. I'm still getting the hang of doing the pan sear. So, you know what? We're going to call this one done too, because I like the big, thick, juicy ones, right? That's pretty much it. I think we can serve everything up. How much you guys see? Whoops, sorry. Okay. Yeah, so we'll just angle you guys over there a smidge just so you can see how we serve it all up. So the cut of meat here is a sirloin tip. It was basically a roast that was on sale, and we just cut it up into some steaks. Just going to put that on there. Spin this around so it doesn't get knocked over or grabbed by the cats. Still a little hot. That should be good. So I'm going to just grab some of these. I like to have quite a lot of mushrooms, so I'm just going to load them up. My teenage daughter isn't too wild about mushrooms, so I end up getting all of them. So, yeah, we'll just make sure we have plenty. And of course, this is a massive freaking steak, so yeah. I'm not sure that there we go. I've got lots left over. Alright. So, this is our leftover marinade. I'm going to put all this away into a container. In fact, let's do that right now, just while I'm thinking of it. A little chunk of the steak gut in there. We're just going to chuck that. I'll just put all that away right now while we're thinking of it. Just into a little container here. So then we can reuse this for the other little steaks we have. Get right in there. I don't mind getting my hands dirty. That's why running water was invented. There we go. There. I'll give that a proper clean later. Alright, set that aside. Now, let's get some potatoes. The other steak I'm saving for the aforementioned teenage daughter to have for her breakfast or dinner or whatever she wants, basically. Try to keep the family well fed here. This is just russet potatoes, skinned. We were peeling them earlier. Delicious. That is the best potatoes to go with steak. Pat that down a little bit. And another piece. I'm hungry. I was getting a little hangry when we were playing games earlier. I realized, wait a minute, I haven't really eaten anything today. There we go. So just let that melt a little bit. Alright, let's move you guys back. Hi. How's it going? There we go. Okay, just going to bring everything over to the table, and then we shall stuff our faces. I'd say that went pretty well. Put the marinade in the fridge. For anyone concerned, I turned the handle of the potato pot away from the edge. Alright. If you'd like to join me for dinner, come with me. It's a fantasy. Don't quit procrastinating. Work on your videos. Yeah. Nothing like Batman for a motivational poster, right? There we go. That is a big freaking steak. Let's switch over to the other mic here, shall we? Bam. There we go. A little sexier. Okay. Sometimes I make garlic bread as well, but this time I didn't. And that's pretty much the whole story. Oh, these look so good. Where do we even begin? There's so much food on this plate. I'll just have a nice mouthful of potatoes, I think. Oh yeah, those turned out perfect. I'm an Irishman by descent, I guess, so I do love me some meat and potatoes. Alright, so let's just cut off a chunk here. Oh yeah, this looks good. Get a couple mushrooms. Maybe an onion as well. And there it goes, onto the counter. Of course it does. There you go. Would you like some? Oh man, did I need this. Holy moly. Did I drop something? Well, if I did, it disappeared into the abyss of my carpet. All those juices, eh? Oh, this turned out so good. Normally I do steak in the oven, and everybody makes fun of me. But no, the reason for that is very simple. Is it's you can kind of cook it a little longer and make it really tender. It's very good. And usually, rather than a marinade, I just use barbecue sauce. And that's really good too. Yeah, it's turned out pretty much perfect. Whoops. I'm so hungry, I'm slipping. Oh yeah, see, look at that. I don't know how well you can see that, but nice and pink. Yeah. That's the good stuff. So once again, this is just a roast. Same cut that I normally get as steaks, but just not cut up into steaks. So, which saves you a little bit of money to begin with. Plus, this was also on sale, so saved even more money. I did check the pre-cut steaks to see if they were on sale as well, because sometimes they are when they do that, but in this case they weren't. So I was like, okay, we'll just get the roast, make our own steaks, you know, as big and thick and juicy as we want. There we go. Those onions are delicious too. Oh, and good morning, Duncan. Sorry, I didn't see you there, dude. Probably because I was in the other room. Just creeping your page here, Miss Sophisticated. You what you're all about. Wow, nice layup. What's going on? Oh, that's your... Hold on, let's... Sorry, I didn't realize. I didn't have the headphones on. Since 2014. Yeah, I've been here... I don't even know how long I've been here. I've been here forever. Feels like forever. I wasn't streaming constantly since day one, though. That came later. I do like seeing Mental Health Advocate there. Very nice. I definitely try to make my channel a safe space. We have folks from all walks of life here. And we're all beautifully broken in our own unique ways. So we always try to look out for each other and keep things friendly and have a good time here. Talk about being broken. I think about those... is it Japan, I think? The classic thing where a, like say a piece of, I don't know, like a teapot or something will break, and they'll put it back together, and fill in the cracks with gold. So the idea is that does not mean that it's broken or useless or anything like that. It's just unique and adds to its unique beauty. And that's how I kind of see us. Thank you. Oh, I'm definitely enjoying it. This is a rare treat for me. I haven't had steak in ages, so definitely welcome. And thanks again for the raid. I really appreciate that. I don't get those very often, so it's always nice, especially when I get to meet cool new people, you know. Really? Yeah. No, it's budget's just too darn tight, so keep an eye out for sales and enjoy it when I can. Otherwise, for the meat in the house, it's usually pork chops because they're the cheapest. It sure is. And it doesn't help that the supermarket near me is one of the more pricey ones in the area. The more affordable ones are a little inconvenient for me to get to on a regular basis. So, yeah. I'm in BC. Are you a fellow crazy Canuck? British Columbia. West Coast. Which makes it tricky sometimes to find a decent time to stream where my East Coast friends can join in. Sometimes it's just too darn late for them. It doesn't help that I'm also a night owl. Originally from Montreal. Oh. Is that, am I to take that to mean you are a fellow West Coaster? It's very nice. We have the best weed here. I used to live in, prior to here, I was in the suburbs of Toronto. Love Toronto for the big multicultural melting pot that it is, but it's just so expensive to live there. So at the time, it was considerably cheaper to live on this coast. It seems to be just expensive everywhere right now. So I'm not looking to move anytime soon. I got a pretty good deal on this place, so yeah. France, wow. Well, that's a little far from BC. So you get to experience all of the French culture. Very nice. I haven't traveled much myself. Something I'd like to change should funds permit at some point. Do you? Are you do you natively speak English or are you natively French? One thing I hear from a lot of people taking English as a second language is how ridiculous and inconsistent the rules are for English. Whereas you look at, you look at how, like, French, German, and Spanish are all structured very similarly. 1 second, peppercorn. And the rules are at least consistent, you know. But like with English, you can have words that are spelled the same, but can have like 3 different meanings, or that are not spelled the same but are pronounced the same. And then there's just all the crazy grammar rules and everything. Like, it just goes on and on and on. I don't know how any of us learned it. You have some of those in French. I guess every language does, really. I've heard that Russian is the hardest one to learn. It's apparently really complicated with its rules, but I haven't dove into that too much. Those are weird. What is it? Oh, tooth and teeth. But then goose and geese. But then moose isn't meese, it's just moose for both the singular and the plural. It's like, okay, well, why? So moose and meese. No. What? Plural of moose is moose. But yeah, I was attempting to learn Japanese a little while ago. I'd love to get back to it. That one actually has pretty consistent rules from what I saw. The main thing with that is, like, the rules are pretty easy to pick up. It's mainly just the vocabulary. Speaking it, that is. Writing it is a whole other story. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I imagine writing it would be more of a challenge, but the spoken is actually not that hard to learn. The rules are pretty straightforward. The remains of Old English. Modern English is only 600 years old and formed from Old English, French, and Latin. Interesting. Well, there you go. I didn't know you were such a language scholar there, Duncan. Duncan is in Britain. It's one of the things I love about Twitch. Is you just end up with such an international audience after a while, and it's wonderful. I love hearing about all the differences in cultures and stuff. One thing that ends up being a conversation topic here quite often is the difference in snacks, like snack foods, chocolate bars and potato chips and things like that. It's it's great. Oh yeah, and Duncan is all about tea. We have a command for that somewhere. Do you remember what it is, Duncan? The command we made for you with your tea? You have the funnest, like, custom emotes. I love those. Is it you without a nose? There it is. Duncan demands. Yeah. And then some educational information about tea. Oh, it's your brother. Oh, okay. Got you. That's funny. I think I did not, despite how many mushrooms I put on the plate, I think I still need more. I will get more in a minute here. So, I gotta say, I don't make steak from a roast that often, but I gotta say, this turned out really good. Holy moly. And hey, I used steak spice that claims to hail from your old stomping grounds. Montreal steak spice. There you go. I don't know how true that is, but it's certainly tasty, wherever it's from. Got a little bit of a kick to it, which is quite nice. You know the one I'm talking about. Yeah, it's really good. But I found out quite by accident that they did a marinade version. Because you can get the spice shakers, which have the spice mix in it. You can also get a barbecue sauce that has the spice mix in it. I thought I was getting the barbecue sauce, and I got it home and poured it out, and it was just like, just like, oh, that's not the consistency of barbecue sauce. And then I looked at the label a little more closely and said it was a marinade. I'm like, oh, I didn't know that existed, but that actually kind of works out better when you're doing it in the pan. So I've been getting it ever since, as I'm waiting with increasing impatience for the landlord to replace my stove. Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's really good. They say to soak it for about a half an hour. I usually give it a little longer. And then it just soaks right into the meat, and it's good. Good eating. Yeah, we do a lot of just chatting streams here too. Sometimes unintentionally, like I'll come on intending to do like a behind the scenes stream where I work on my YouTube videos or something, and I procrastination gets the better of me, and we just end up chatting all night. Well, that's okay. Well, you should have come over for dinner then. There's lots to go around. Yeah, this is a pretty standard, like, combo for me. Mushrooms, onions, steak, potatoes, mashed potatoes. Or sometimes I'll do baked potatoes. Those are good too. Get the little one off the end here. Yes, folks, and for anyone who had any doubts that I was going to eat that whole steak, well, there you go. We're almost done. I do love me some steak. All right, take care, Duncan. Thanks for dropping in. So yeah, we do chill and chat. Behind the scenes stuff, we play games. Getting close to Halloween season now, we're going to be playing scary games soon. Just kind of focusing on Fortnite for the moment because the season's ending and I need to get the last of my Battle Pass goodies before it's over. Let's try that again. There we go. Stop trying to escape. I'll be right back. I'm just going to get a few more mushrooms. If you're in France, must be pretty close to what Duncan's time zone is. I know he's 8 hours ahead of me. It's currently 11:30 p.m. here. So it's, what would it be? Like morning, I guess. Well, it must be if Duncan's going to work. That is just perfectly pink. I don't know, you can't really tell on the webcam here, but if you take a look here, very nice. Got a sear on the on either side and nice and pink in the middle. That is perfect. 8:28. Okay. Yeah. See, I think my schedule's the exact opposite. I tend to be going to bed around that time. Oh, sun's up. Time to go to bed. Although lately I've been getting up early. Really? Just one of those rare days you're up at this hour? Or you haven't gone to bed yet? Oh, there you go. Yeah, that sounds more like it. Yeah, that's how it goes for me most of the time, too. Just got done. Yeah, I guess so, duh. You raided me. I should have put those pieces together. You wouldn't wake up and raid some random person with your morning coffee. No. That's something you do at the end. North America? Well, you know, you gotta stay in touch with the roots, right? I stream for basically whoever happens to be up when I'm streaming. But I do try to pick times generally that, you know, knowing my audience, to try to get times that work for as many of them as I can. And I tend to do ridiculously long streams on a regular basis, too. It always cracks me up when I see people just starting out. And they're like, oh, man, I streamed for almost 2 hours the other day. I was so tired. Like, 2 hours? That's like warm-up time for me. Like, I'm not even... Like, I'm still waiting for everybody to show up so I can start the stream proper by that point, like at the 2 hour mark. So, I don't know. To me, when I stream, the time just kind of flies by. Like, I love it. That's why I do it for a living. You know? Whatever we're doing, we always have fun here. And then, yeah, lately I've been trying to get up earlier because we've been doing screenings over on my Discord. I've been watching a mix of stuff, mostly scary movies because Halloween's coming up, so we've been watching a lot of movies there. Watch Dark Shadows every Friday. I've been watching sci-fi stuff on Saturdays. So it's like I'll get up and do the screening in the morning with my coffee. And the best thing about that is I'm not on camera, so I don't have to be presentable. Just present. And then I'll come here and stream the rest of the day well into the night. You know? Sleep? Who needs sleep? And Jordan listens to me at work. Some people listen to Howard Stern. Jordan listens to me. So what kind of stuff do you like to do, Miss Sophisticated? What's your thing over on your corner of the Twitchiverse? I got a little bit of a sense by creeping your profile there, but what's your gaming? What kind of stuff do you like to play? You used to do cooking streams? Oh yeah, I should have mentioned I do cooking streams too. As you probably noticed. Yeah, I started posting those on my YouTube, and they actually turned out to be rather popular, so I always make a point to send those over when we do them. Oh, okay. Very nice. I need to play more Among Us. I've only played, like, a knockoff version of it. Actually, I think it was the Fortnite version. And that was a lot of fun. So, I have the real version. I'd like to play that at some point. We play Fortnite a fair amount. I don't play a ton of multiplayer games, to be honest. I mean, I'll play some, like, with my viewers and stuff. Like, just kind of people I know or other streamers or whatever. Most of the time I just play single player because, you know, I'm antisocial. Yeah, right. Antisocial in certain regards. I like first-person shooters, too. Just not so much the multiplayer side. I tend to be, I'm one of those single-player campaign people. I play them for the story and for the pew-pew. Hey, Hunter. Whoa, Jordan, you do a whole 10 minutes? Man. I don't know if I could handle doing one that long. Oh. Apparently I was way hungrier than I thought, and already, like, my spirits have lifted. I was getting cranky before. I think I was literally hangry. Get worn out. Man, I'm going almost 10 minutes. Gotta take a break. Like, a single round of Fortnite isn't even 10 minutes. Well, unless you get killed right away. Apparently I was thirsty, too. That's a pint, by the way, for anyone who's wondering. Oh, moly. Whew. Dead by Daylight, usually the first guy dead. Hello, hello. Here, let's get the prettier visuals going, shall we? Bring you guys down here. Make it pretty. This is the problem, only having one camera. Whenever you move, you gotta bring the camera with you. Okay, hold on a second. We'll make this nice and pretty. Turn this off. That on. And... turn on the other one. There we go. That's how we usually look. I crank all the lights on when we're going back and forth in the kitchen. So, Dead by Daylight. Yeah, I haven't played that one. I played the Friday the 13th game, which we were talking about the other day, is very similar in structure. Oh, God. Yeah, playing today, the sweats were just out in force. We were just getting destroyed left and right. Dead by Daylight. Are you a horror fan? We're big horror fans here. You might have noticed the countdown. That stays up all year round here. Excellent. Excellent. Well, I hope we'll see more of you then. We are your people. Yeah, Halloween is always something of an event. I might. I've got a few costumes that I use for videos and stuff, so I could do something like that. Or my teenage daughter was talking about going to Value Village, seeing what they have, so I might tag along for that and put something together from my findings there. We shall see. I'm not entirely sure what my plans are for Halloween as of yet. More than likely I'll just be streaming or something after watching movies on the Discord with everybody. But we shall see. We shall see. But yeah, at the moment, I know, like on my YouTube channel, Halloween is always an event. I do a lot of movie reviews and play scary games and stuff like that. But then I do all of that live here. So, you know, filming and editing the videos. So I let everybody see the whole process, basically. I figure I might as well make some money while I'm working on the content, right? And then, of course, the scary games. That's the stuff you want to see live. When I'm playing scary games, because then you get the live reactions as they happen. I have a special set of sounds for my soundboard, so people can, you know, toss a few bits in and scare the crap out of me with some well-timed sounds, and that's always fun. So, yeah. Gonna go as a Canadian. Dewey and Gail from Scream with my girlfriend. One of the parties we're going to. Nice, very good. I haven't seen the latest Scream. I liked the first four. I haven't seen them in ages. But yeah, it's a good series. Very meta in its sort of poking fun at all the different tropes of slasher movies and whatnot. It's good stuff. I love things like that. Ridiculous. Just got a copyright flag on one of my videos from like 5 years ago. I don't know. It's like I swear it's like when music, certain songs change rights, change hands. They fire it all into the YouTube system and just reflag everything. And it's like, ugh, just go away. Nobody cares about your crappy little song from 10 years ago anymore. So, yeah. Why is he posting that? Okay. All right. I see. Is it related to a movie I was talking to? Sorry, just looking at YouTube comments. The copyright flagging. Oh, I know, it's so annoying. And well, and a lot of these ones that they're flagging are videos that have like no views on them anyway. It's like, yeah, go ahead, take that 1/100th of a cent in ad revenue. I think I'll live. You know. You haven't seen a lot of the OG horror films. Ah, see. I've been doing kind of a deep dive into the history of horror for a little while with my Halloween movie reviews. Watching a lot of the old stuff, a lot of the old Universal horror like monsters ones in the, from the 30s and 40s. Dracula, Frankenstein, Wolfman, The Mummy, all those. The original Invisible Man. And then all the ones that Hammer did in the 60s and 70s, starting to dive into those. And I also like stuff like, it's interesting to me to see the origins of things. Like, speaking of slashers, like Scream, there's a whole subgenre called proto-slashers, which are basically essentially anything that came before Halloween, 1978. That was the one that changed everything. Everybody, like, after Halloween came out, there was like this huge boom of slasher movies, which is largely what Scream makes fun of, is that sort of 80s and 90s horror boom, like slasher boom. But there's a whole bunch that predate that, but it didn't really kick off a genre, but they exist. So there's a bunch from like the 60s and 70s that they call proto-slashers. So I find that stuff really interesting, like to see those. And a lot of them are really good too. So just so many hidden gems out there to discover, So it's just like constantly finding these new treasures and new favorites and stuff like that. It's great. It's people don't seem to realize just how expansive the horror genre is. It's like Halloween ripped off the Texas Chainsaw Massacre. Not really. I mean, they're very much different genres. I mean, Halloween is just basically, your fairly straight up, mysterious slasher guy coming along. Well, no, I mean, Scream was the one that made fun of all, or kind of like, poked at the genre. But the genre started with Halloween. Halloween was the one that started it. Yeah. Some shit stain from Variety. About what? What, Halloween supposedly ripping off Texas Chainsaw Massacre? So I wrote one in response. Why that guy from Variety is full of shit about Halloween. Yeah. It makes me sad when I see people or sites of considerable influence putting out shit opinions like that, So, but yeah, so basically anything pre-Halloween is considered a proto-slasher. Anything post-Halloween is just considered a slasher. So, and then Scream mostly makes fun of the post-Halloween stuff. So, One of the favorite times I had to ask my boss, "Hey, I'm using this as a headline. That better be okay." Oh, absolutely. And I mean, I'm not in any way putting down Texas Chainsaw Massacre, because it really was. That's part of the big horror, or big sort of avant-garde cinema boom of the 70s, which is another reason a lot of the horror stuff that came out of the 70s is so interesting, because they were starting to do things that they wouldn't have dreamed of doing in the 60s, 50s, and earlier. Yeah. Yeah, it's very different. I mean, Texas Chainsaw Massacre, if anything, kicked off a different genre. So-called, what do they call it? Hillbilly horror, I guess, where it's like, you're out in the middle of nowhere, and some family of hillbillies shows up and makes your life miserable. But you know, the original one. Well, the thing is, the original, a lot of people go into it, I think, just because of its legendary status, expecting it to be something that it never was. Like, it's not a gore fest by any stretch. It's one of those examples of less is more, right? And it's very intentionally designed that way. It wasn't meant to be a splatter fest. It was meant to be more psychological, where you come away from it thinking that you've seen things that you actually didn't see. Like when Leatherface is chopping up one of the bodies. A lot of it is, well, and also they didn't have a budget to be. It was very low budget. He's chopping up one of the bodies. You don't actually see him chopping up the bodies. You just kind of see the motions of him like chopping, and you hear the sounds and stuff. And it sends your imagination wild. So I mean, what your mind can come up with is always going to be 100 times worse than anything they could actually show you on screen. And that's why it sticks with people so much, is because they went for a more psychological, suggestive approach, and it just stays with you, So the whole running left and right across the screen, I bet you any money, yeah, they were doing the Scooby-Doo thing. They were doing Scooby-Doo. They said, considering the year, it was really good, but seeing it now is definitely not what I expected. Well, no, I mean, and that goes for a lot of older horror. Like, most of it is going to kind of, pale in comparison to just the sort of in-your-face intensity that more modern stuff has. But, just approach it with the right mindset. Consider what time it was, and just kind of enjoy it on its own merits. That's what I usually do. I mean, like, I don't go and watch, like, like a Universal Monsters movie from the 30s and expect it to be full of blood, guts, and boobs like something you'd see today. I expect to see something, that's a little classy, a little bit understated, and with some cool sets and, atmosphere. And that's that. So sometimes they do, but I mean, there's still a lot that do go for a more psychological approach as well. Like if you looked at things like Hereditary or Midsummer, they have some gory moments, but it's not about the gore with those. It's about the getting under your skin and disturbing you. It Follows would be another one. Oh, see Midsummer. It's really good. Yeah, it's really good. I need to track down the director's cut. I've only seen the theatrical cut. The director's cut's hard to come by in North America for some reason. Well, It Follows, The Witch, The Lighthouse. If you ever saw The Lighthouse, that's really good. All of those are examples of like less is more, making it more psychological, and they're scary as hell. Us, and was it the other one, Get Out? We're in a little bit of a horror renaissance right now, to tell you the truth. Like, there's been some really like scary and original stuff coming out, not just retreads of what we've seen before. So, yeah. Midsummer and Hereditary, I can see that. They both worked for me very well. I unintentionally, I didn't realize they were both by the same director, Ari Aster. I unintentionally had an Ari Aster double bill one night because I got them both at the same time. And I watched Hereditary, and then I popped in Midsummer, and it's like, oh, this is by the same guy. Orphan, There's Something Wrong About Esther. Yeah, I haven't seen those yet. One of my friends really wants to watch the new one. She's seen the original and really liked it. It's been on my radar for ages. I just haven't got a. It's out already. It's out now. It was released straight to streaming. But yeah, and actually that one I'm really interested in, like on a technical level, because they have the same actress back, and she's like 20 something now, and it's a prequel. So she's playing the same character younger than she was in the original. So they use, and apparently they didn't do CG or anything. They just used like in-camera effects and angles and makeup and just old-fashioned movie magic trickery to make her appear. And well, okay, and see, that's old-fashioned movie magic trickery. But I know the big twist. Yes, I mean, you'd have to be a horror fan living under a rock to not know that twist by this point. Yeah. Yeah, I know. I've had a few twists for movies ruined for me because I waited too long to see them. Yeah, so do I. We're very anti-spoiler here, so if you ever want to talk movies here, rest assured. Yeah. We'll make sure everybody in the room has seen it first before we talk about any spoilers. But I had the big twist of The Sixth Sense spoiled for me. I had the big twist of The Others spoiled for me, the Nicole Kidman one. That's a really good haunted house movie if you've never seen it, by the way. Yeah, I've had a few spoiled for me over the years. And sometimes through my own just, not being careful. Other times it was people just intentionally spoiling it for me to be jerks. So, I hate it when that happened. Oh, you didn't like The Conjuring? See, I'm a huge haunted house movie fan, so that was right up my alley. I love a good ghost story. And I thought that had some good moments. Have you seen any of the other ones? I still need to get caught up on those. I've seen as far as the second one. The Conjuring was the one about the Warrens, the husband and wife team that investigates the supernatural, and trying to see which movie I disliked. That wasn't it. Okay, I was going to say, what the hell? The Conjuring's great. That's like one of the good ones. But hey, everybody's tastes are different, so. Yeah, I need to get caught up on those. I haven't seen all of them yet. I have them all. But, actually, I should show you. If we go over here, I'll show you something. I normally have spookier lighting, but this is my Halloween area. And that's the horror collection over there. So, it needs to be tidied up a little bit. There's like Amazon boxes on the floor and stuff, but and I gotta clear off the table, but that's where I do all my movie reviews and stuff. So every year I go in and tidy it all up, and I try to add to the decor every year as well. That stays up all year round, by the way. It's too much of a pain. It would be insane to take it down and put it up every year. But can't find the title. Is there any way you can explain it non-spoiler fully? Just like the gist of it? Well, it was this one where the killer turned out to be the dog. Oops. The lady with kids in a house. Depressed. Is that, well, that, I mean, that, there's a few movies that could fall into that category. There's Hereditary would fall into that category. The Babadook would probably fall into that category. Although it was just one kid, not two kids. Mama. Did you see Mama? Mama was good. Mama was about a couple kids that got like lost in a forest, and they kind of went feral, and didn't get why everyone enjoyed. Maybe was there a kind of car accident in it? Without saying too much about that. The thing I liked about it was just so refreshingly different. You know, like I honestly didn't know where it was going. It kept me on my toes. The ending is very weird, yes. Well, to be fair, the whole thing is weird. It's a very strange premise, and I do kind of like how there are certain aspects of it that are kind of left ambiguous. I like ambiguity when it's done well. So for me, I didn't mind the sort of weirdness of the ending. I thought it was, suitably. There were moments in it that I found like genuinely disturbing, to the point where it's going to be a while before I feel comfortable watching it again. But yeah, it's it's an interesting take on. I want to say reincarnation. It's not really reincarnation. Well, it's kind of reincarnation, but there's other stuff. It's weird. And I'll just say this: love or hate the movie. I gotta add my voice to the choir and say that Toni Collette was absolutely screwed as far as not getting any Academy recognition for her performance as the mother in that. God, she was amazing. She got other awards for it, of course, but I mean the Academy never looks at horror, and it's one of the reasons I just can't stand it. Yeah, she was fantastic. As the mother, she played crazy very well. Very convincingly. But yeah. So, well, I don't know. Give Midsommar a try. It's by the same director. It is also very strange, but it's very different from Hereditary. So you might find it more your cup of tea. See, Midsommar is part of another subgenre of horror known as folk horror, or daylight horror. Most of it takes place during the day, which is very rare for horror movies. Usually it's at night, that fear of the dark. But Midsommar is mostly during the day, and it just freaks you out. It's crazy. So, oh, she was great. What an amazing performance. Yeah, she was terrific. Yeah, she was really, really good. Her and Toni Collette in particular. And honestly, I thought the whole cast did a really good job. But those two in particular, I think, were definitely standouts. No question there. But same condition as the boy. Oh, with her teeth? Really? Interesting. Dustin is the character you're thinking of. Probably one of my favorite characters in Stranger Things, actually. Love him. I just want to hang out with him and play D&D, I love how he's the one who just kind of figures everything out in that. He figures out how everything works, and and he's very funny too, very witty. Yeah, absolutely. So sad that there's only one more season of that, eh? But holy moly, was the last season ever good. At least I thought it was. Just so good. I liked how all the episodes were so long, but I didn't feel like they felt like they were long. They felt like they were exactly as long as they needed to be. Oh, you're only on season 2? Oh, you got so much to look forward to. Yeah, I won't say anything. But yeah, binge away. Actually, Halloween coming up. That's a good time to watch Stranger Things. It's got a very Halloweeny vibe to it. I think season 2 has some episodes that take place around Halloween too, so even better. Yeah, you got a lot to look forward to then. That's a great show. That's a great show. Well, I need to go have my post-food smoke and get some water. I shall return. Ready or not? That sounds familiar, but I'm not sure. I'm gonna have to say probably not. I guess I'm not ready. Alright, I will be right back. We will return momentarily. What, I can't put up an ad break? Alright, fine. Well, maybe there'll be ads, maybe there won't. Who knows? I'll be back.